So it's now June 21st, 2019, and I'm going through some books that Harvey Steele, who was a former president of the Oregon Archaeological Society, and also the editor of the Screenings, which was their newsletter. He did that for a number of years. And, this is his library that he gave me, anything pertaining to Drake or the Spaniards or maritime industry. And one of the things I've just discovered here, it's a Transactions of the Royal Society of Canada, and this is from 1930. It's a list of trading vessels in maritime fur trade from 1785 to 1794, and it's by Judge F.W. Howe. It's out of Ottawa, printed by the Royal Society of Canada, 1930. And I haven't even read it, but I'm going to spend a few minutes here taking a look at it and see what we have. It's a chronological list of trading vessels on the northwest coast. And Harmon or Sea Otter, a British frigate of 60 tons, probably of Canton, owner unknown, commanded by James Hanna, references the Meares' voyages. So that's where they found it. And it talks about it at him being here on April 15th, 1785. Went into a bay at 32.5 degrees. That's pretty far south. And then he got up to 44.12. And next one was Captain Cook, 1786. British Snow of 350 tons. And it goes into King George, Queen Charlotte, the Lark, Nootka, Sea Otter, Imperial Eagle in 1787, King George. Of course, a lot of this was referenced by Meares in his voyages. And Meares is really an interesting character because he had an ongoing dispute with what really happened and who deserved the credit on some of the discoveries and maps that he drew. And they were by a pilot on another ship named George Dixon. And there was an exchange back and forth, which is really enlightening as far as what people who were sailing the coast, as far as the language that they were using and some of the references they were using. Nothing comes to mind right at the top of my head because I'm off to something else. Always something else. But by the way, there is a banner hanging on the outside of my garage at the top up by the deck up there, which is 12 feet by 6 foot, perfect size. And it's the banner which shows the discovery of the survey by Don Viles and Wayne Jensen and the monument rock that was dug out eventually from underneath a big spruce root. That's the third of it. And the next third is a picture of Corsagini's, looks like a big triangle outlining the found rocks that they found in incised rocks and marks and cairns. And so it was the authentication that Corsagini did. He was the Oregon State Civil Engineer Master's candidate. That was his project. And then the final third is a large map, the whole third, of the Edward Wright map, which was done in 1599 and 1600, which is it's only the Western Hemisphere, not just the Eastern Hemisphere, but it's a world chart. And it was the first world chart drawn under the Mercator projection, and it's the only map of the entire Elizabethan reign that has her privy seal on it, and it's a huge privy seal up on the left-hand corner takes up about 20% of the Western Hemisphere. So it wasn't like a small notation of the authentication. So I'm going to stop here because it takes too long to upload things, and whether or not I'll be back today, I don't know. But it is the first day of summer, so hey, have a great summer.